Hi, I'm State Representative Jason Overstreet. Thank you for joining me from the state capitol in Olympia. With the second special session of 2011 underway, state lawmakers have been tasked with filling a $2 billion budget hole. A lot of people have asked me how our two-year budget, which has only been in effect for 5 months, could already be this deep in the red. It's a good question with a simple answer. The legislature continues to pass unsustainable budgets. In fact, please take a look at this chart, which shows state spending and state tax collections, also called revenue. It reveals that spending has not been aligned with revenue since 2007, a year when we experienced extraordinary revenue due to the housing market and other consumer spending. That means even when state spending was aligned with revenue for a short time, it was still unsustainable. The problem is the legislature has not done what so many families and businesses have in these tough times: adjust to economic realities. It's not hard. When you have less money coming in, you have to spend less. It boils down to the simple principle that you probably follow at home: don't spend more than you are taking in. I'd like to share another chart with you. This one shows the history of state spending. Please take a look at the 2005 through 7 budget cycle, as I mentioned before. This is a time period of extraordinary revenue. Unfortunately, budget writers did two things. First, they spent that extra money, but even worse, they based future budgets off that amount. When the economy returned back to normal levels, this poor budgeting practice and your tax dollars were exposed. In the budget debate, it's important to remember two key facts. First, when you hear the governor talk about the $10.5 billion in cuts since 2008, it's a stretch. Those aren't my words. They're the words of an Associated Press reporter, Mike Baker, who took the time to research this claim. In his article, he points out that, quote, many of the hundreds of cuts Gregoire and other Democrats have tallied are simply automatic spending increases that didn't end up happening, end quote. These are often referred to as Olympia cuts. Another important number to remember is $2 billion. Our state will take in $2 billion more in this budget cycle than the last one. It begs the question, do taxes really need to be raised? My answer is no. But this is exactly what the governor is proposing. She wants to raise the state sales tax, which would affect everyone, to generate nearly $500 million in extra tax dollars. I'm against this for a few reasons. First, we are in a fragile economic recovery where consumers lack confidence and businesses are afraid to invest. Raising the state sales tax would just make things worse. Secondly, it says that state government is so efficient that more savings simply cannot be found. I just don't believe that to be true. Just this month, an audit found our state paid more than $500,000, $500,000 in a year on phones that weren't being used. And finally, voters have been very clear on how they feel about new tax increases. When the current budget passed in the first special session in May, I voted against it. At the time, I said that it failed to prioritize government functions and spending and continued to fund certain programs that should be eliminated, handled by the private sector, or that the state simply can't afford. This is still what I believe today and what we must be focused on moving forward. Our second area of focus should be job creation and economic growth. We could pass reforms today that would incentivize startup businesses, provide certainty in the permitting process, ease rulemaking, and improve our state's workers' compensation and unemployment insurance system. If we can do these things, we can get Washington working again. I welcome your ideas as we work towards these goals. I'm State Representative Jason Overstreet. Please contact me if I can ever be of assistance. My information is provided below. God bless you, your family, and the state of Washington.